We can all agree that winning the lottery would be life-changing. These 4 lottery winners' lives were definitely changed, but not for the good. Beginning with Denise Rossi, who had won a $1.3 million jackpot. Just before Denise had won the jackpot, she had filed to divorce her husband of over 25 years. When Denise had won the jackpot, she decided to keep that secret from her husband. However, during the divorce proceedings, her husband had figured out that she had won a $1.3 million jackpot and kept it from him. And obviously, like any person would, he believed she had divorced him because she wanted to keep all of the winnings to herself. Her husband then took her to court, arguing that she had committed fraud by keeping the lottery winnings from him. The court had agreed, and Denise was ordered to give all of her lottery winnings to her husband. Denise Rossi was left with nothing after giving all of her winnings to her husband and the legal fees, and she had to completely start over. But at least Denise Rossi had a chance to start over, unlike David Lee Edwards. David Lee Edwards had won a $27 million jackpot in 2001, but lost it all in a matter of a few years. When Edwards first won the jackpot, he had done what any other smart person would done. He had hired a lawyer and a financial advisor to make sure that he didn't go broke. But obviously he wasn't smart enough, because in just 3 months he had blown through $3 million. He went on a massive spending spree, buying exotic cars, multiple homes, private jets, and other luxury items. And by 2006, David Lee Edwards had went bankrupt. After losing all of his money, Edwards and his wife spiraled into a bad drug addiction, and they were so broke that David Lee Edwards and his wife were living in a storage shed. And at the age of 58, David Lee Edwards had passed away in hospice care and had left no money for his daughter to inherit. Construction worker Americo Lopez and his colleagues would all throw money in and buy lottery tickets in hopes to win a lottery and then split the winnings between everyone who had pitched in. Well, in 2009, Americo Lopez had taken all of his colleagues' money and bought a lottery ticket. And man, was he lucky, because that lottery ticket was a winner and he had won $39 million. After this win, Americo Lopez told his boss that he was gonna need a few months off of work because he had to get surgery for a foot injury. And the worst part is that he didn't tell his colleagues that he had won the lottery with their money. But shortly after not returning to work, Americo Lopez's colleagues had figured out that he had won a jackpot and didn't split the winnings. They then sued Lopez, and that resulted into him having to split his winnings. To this day, it is unknown about how much money Americo Lopez has, but after splitting his winnings and legal fees, it is safe to assume that he wasn't left with much. Michael Carroll was a 19-year-old with a troubled upbringing. He had a history of petty crime and drug use. But in 2002, Michael had won a $14 million jackpot. And it is said that Michael was literally wearing a court-ordered ankle brace on the way to collect his winnings. He was also working as a garbage collector and literally did not have a bank account, so he's sure to know how to handle $14 million. Right? After receiving $14 million overnight, Michael became quite the celebrity in the United Kingdom. He bought a mansion, threw legendary parties, and even had demolition derbies in his backyard. He was also often seen wearing extravagant amounts of gold chains and other expensive jewelry. Not surprisingly, Michael had spent all of his money, resulting in him having to live in the woods. But eventually, Michael was able to get a job at a cookie factory, making about $300 a week. Now, making $300 a week from having $14 million is quite the lifestyle change, but it actually worked in favor for Michael. Apparently, Michael was able to kick his drug habit and states that his lifestyle now is way more satisfying.